just setting up because Azaria is going to do a reading for me for my birthday. Yeah.
For your birthday.
For my birthday on 2024. Celebrating on June 9th. Actual birthday the 13th. Okay, I also like to take notes.
Okay.
So I will be taking notes. And yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Yeah. You've given me the gift of readings before, but I'm not sure that we've ever had the chance to do it in person. Do you recall?
I think this might be the first.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Although I think
maybe real early or something?
Yeah, like when we were doing those videos, I think we recorded one video in your backyard.
Oh, was it the backyard in Laurelhurst Park in 2020? Or a different one? Which I had a lot of backyards.
Some backyard.
Okay, yeah. I find a lot of kick-ass backyards, and it's okay to sort of forget where it was, because it's, out of space, out of time, and whatever.
Yeah.
What would you like me to do?
Yes, please.
Oh, this is pretty.
Thanks.
These are really pretty too. I like that color.
Thanks. I'm all about noticing whatever color is showing up a lot. Mm-hmm. And then that's the chakra that's communicating with me right now. Or,
Yeah. For me, it's like color. Mm-hmm. Color is like it's like a energetic field, and so people are like, oh, I love the color blue. And I feel like I moved from blue, green, and brown into purple. It's like a completely different.
Yeah. I love it when someone's favorite color changes. I think it's a lot of information. Even, when Ainsley told me what her new favorite colors are, it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
I think it's odd when people are like, I have had the same thing my whole life and I cannot change.
Yeah. So I brought 2 different decks, and I just want you to take a moment and see which one wants to work with you.
I think it's this one from the beginning. I almost didn't notice this one at first, so I feel like this one's saying 1 card.
Okay.
And then this one's saying like bulk of the reading.
Okay.
Hey Cleo, what's up? Yeah, when I got a new phone, I purposely got one with like a fuck ton of internal memory so that I don't have to worry about it uploading. I just make sure, like to iCloud or whatever, I just make sure that I just put it online quick enough that, this way I don't have to like fuss with a bunch of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you got the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and I want to be clear and just say we're attuning to your Akashic records.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We're time stamping it this year to the next, so 2024 now until next year, 2025.
I love that. I always have this is one of my years. Like I have 2-year breaks, 6-month intervals. So.
Yeah. So you got the Queen of Wands.
Pretty.
This is all about empowerment. This is the Queen energy. It's the element of fire, and so this speaks of vibrancy, life. Life. This is very life-giving. And it's a queen, so it's higher up. The hierarchical scale, so to speak. And so there are levels of control and order. I want to say like there's a boundaries fence.
A boundary what?
A boundaries fence.
Oh, okay.
Like being discerning of like your queendom. And then, sometimes the Queen of Wands can also have layers of impulsivity and can be very control oriented. And we can work with all of that. It doesn't, there's no like negative
Right.
connotation.
Yeah, I understand. And that's been very much, like, I've very consciously been thinking about queen energy, because I know part of that too is as the queen, people come to you.
Yeah.
And like literally the experience of me immersed in someone who's become a friend, and their lovely energy, and avail myself of their amazing like healing, space and hot tub and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm getting paid, and I work a little bit every day, so I get this like work retreat, so therefore it also makes 100% tax write-off. And so like to me, that's it, in this current environment, I can't think of anything that's more queen than that. It's like, hey, I'm having, my friend said, yeah, you can have some people over in my sweet spot, and so I get to do that, and I get to, I live in the queen. I live in the queen, like, for sure. So I love that that's the first card that came up.
Yeah. So the cards you have are the Six of Swords, Six of Wands, Eight of Swords, Five of Wands, and Four of Cups. There is a message of being in the current of universal flow. This means, it's very similar to my my experience with grandmother and her taking me to the field of no forcing, right? Where there's no forcing connection or belonging or opportunity. It comes to you, you magnetize it, right? When you are in Queen of Wands, when you are in your power, you are magnetizing. When
Experience.
like when life is effortless, when life is gentle, that's an indication that you are in your embodiment, your Queen of Wands, your creator.
Yay.
Right, your queen energy.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be moments where like this really challenges your belief systems and limitations. Eight of Swords is generally like restriction. And so this could speak of, you sometimes getting in your own way by, not fully trusting the unknown or the uncertainty. The Five of Wands speaks of conflict, internal conflict. And, seeing the Four of Cups next to it, it's interesting. There are some decks where I read the Four of Cups and it speaks of, it can be interpreted in many different ways. The traditional tarot, it's like this person sitting under a tree, and there's like a cloud with like a cup, and the person sitting like this. And some readers read that as like rejection. In this, with this deck, in this read, it's more of an energy of feeling full and content and believing that for yourself.
Yes.
Because I think there's maybe some mental blockages around that, or belief systems around that. But I see this next year being victorious for you. I see you stepping more into leadership. I see you having a following, having followers. People will follow you. And to some extent, like the work you've been doing, the internal integration that you've been doing, you're steering a ship essentially of community to calmer waters. It's so interesting. It's like you become the anchor to all of us. It kind of reminds me of like when I'm doing grief support. It's like I feel capable of steering the ship because I've met my own messiness. And so to some extent you've become like a lighthouse, being like, we're going this way. You're like one of those airline people, like we're going this way. And I feel like it's so much what your soul has craved. Like your spirit's been craving that for so long. And I see you confronting these belief systems that you adapted somewhere along the way. It could be connected to rejection, or even just being low resourced, right? Like for me, that's like a never-ending well of grief, is the grief of resources. Our time, healthcare, like rest, Let's see what else wants to come up.
How do you feel like when you're giving someone a reading in person? Do you like to just like, stay in your energy and stay quiet?
That's a good question. There isn't really any structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Is there any
some
feedback?
readers like have a preference.
They're like, silence.
Yeah, or wait till the end, or I don't know.
The other person's like,
Yeah. No, I'd love to tell you a little
go
bit.
ahead.
So I am so just delighted because the only like mild surprise to me to everything you've said is just that it's so clear, and like some of the words you're using are even matching the words that I've been thinking or the visualizations I've had. Some of them, some of these visualizations you're reframing for me in a like gentler way, because sometimes I get in my own way because I cannot see. There's certain things that I really just don't know what a different experience could look like, so I can't imagine it. And so I can imagine those being some of my blockages. And that is one of the ways that, say, like Sophia was a lighthouse for me, in that she would go to some event or some gathering or whatever, or have some experience, and she'd come back and tell me about it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I would never have imagined that in a million years. And so then over like the course of it, almost 2 years of spending a lot of time together, I got to hear and begin to experience with her a lot of those things I could never have imagined.
Yeah.
And now I get to literally say, like, my life is based on not only things that I couldn't have imagined, but also a lot of things that I did.
Yeah, your
A lot of
reality
things.
is completely shifted.
Yeah, but also, like, what I'm saying is that I am literally living many of the dreams that are just the visuals that I've held, or have popped in here and there or whatever. But yeah, it's everything about what's happening in my life, self-sustainability, and be able to share that with others and put my decades of skills to work in a way that I finally feel like this is me using the knowledge that I was paid to get. That's another like super big key to my message.
Yeah.
Is earn an income while you're learning your skills or honing your skills, because there's no reason why you should have to pay for that. So at least a lot of it, there's some you need to pay for. But yeah, I just love so much that generally Oracle and tarot cards are confirmations for me. They always feel like, yes, it's, my guides, that's a direct communication.
Yeah.
Also, people often are communication. But so, by them showing up in the way that they are, matching so much, that it's just really exciting, because I do get to feel just that much more confident that this isn't one of those times where I'm kind of living in la la land, It really is. What I think is happening is happening.
I think you touched on something pretty important or pretty potent, and that's like sometimes our daydreaming is also in itself like a limitation. Like you said, like, I'm living this life that like I imagined and I didn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes our imagination can even limit us, right? Like
a lot of time.
Think
actually.
of, like, I can't tell you how many of, like, my tarot clients are like, this one person is it for me. And it's like, okay, that's a lot of, like, pressure, you know, and is it possible?
Yeah.
Is it possible? And so, yeah, I think you really touched on something there about, like, sometimes the things we imagine can also be barriers for us. And it can also be a point of, like, fear. It can start to become a fear.
Yeah, when I'm imagining returning to the pits of hell,
Yeah.
or is this thing that's popping up in my body, is it a message that I can have a conversation with and we'll be fine, or is it something saying, hey, you're kind of actually, you're on the path to fucked right
Yeah.
now. And so, yes, I know that there have definitely been times when I just read it in the way of, yeah, you're kind of fucked for a while, when I could perhaps have gotten at least a little closer to, maybe this is a clearing of that pattern. I did get there, but it took me a while.
It took suffering, sister.
Oh man, I suffered. But also, I really also, while I mean, this is a very real part of my experience, is I would lay on the floor in the bathroom having grief babies and, you know, like trauma babies and like just, yeah. And that was one of the things I held on to was, this is not just mine. I know a lot of it is, but it also is like, what I'm learning here will help others.
Yeah.
And I will survive it. I know I will. I know that I'm mining a very rich, you know, very deep well. And I know, you know, I saw myself claw myself up. I paid attention to the sort of things that spoke to me and the sort of resources I accessed, and the pathway from those pits of hell to baby steps, you know, women's circle being the intro to like everything, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to someone about, I was talking to Stuart about
I guess I wasn't supposed to eat that one.
Yeah.
It really just leaked out of my mouth. So you're talking to Stuart?
Yeah, I was talking to Stuart about some of the stuff that was coming up with Victor. And, oh, I'm losing my train of thought. Hold on. It's gone.
It's okay. It might come back to me later.
Yeah, I want to say though, like, you know, talking about the initiation to rising, right? Coming into Queen. That has not been a gentle process for you. It's been very life-taking. And yeah, the way that you're alchemizing that, it's like I see this bravery in you to face it, to look towards it, and that's big work.
It is.
Yeah, it's big work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you see me clearly.
Yeah. Let's see what else wants to come up. I really wish I could have remembered what I was going to share, but it'll come back eventually.
Yeah. I've been, this sort of thing that I've been paying a lot of attention to is, for example, this Mystic CEO. It's a mastermind that this gal is, you know, of course, pitching, but I don't need the mastermind at this point. I just really needed to hear this, like, 5 hours of her, like, connecting to the Mystic CEO. It's based on astrology. I've been learning from her since 2021 in a variety of ways. And I was just so fucking excited because really what she was talking about is, again, like how I am blending intuition with knowledge and experience. And it was the intuition piece that was that is at least in my experience, was not welcome or very present in the conventional world that I was immersed in for a good long while. And so when I came to my 50th birthday, I was super intentional about, like, that first 50 years was very much it was a lifetime, and I will continue to learn from that lifetime for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I no longer, I now can, from that informed space of learning the system from the inside, I can now go, okay, well, you know what works? These things.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't? 80% of it.
Yeah.
But now that I've learned more about how to connect with my intuition rather than just be like, you know what, guys, I really feel like every time everything goes to shit, that means we're supposed to slow down.
Yeah.
And that, no, we're on a timeline. I know part of my medicine is to demonstrate and model real timelines.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
projects don't happen in the time frame that people seem to somehow think they can.
Right.
It is birthing, and that thing's been happening every fucking where people talk about birthing, me myself included. That she also did too. Like this, what you were learning 7 years ago, which was in some of the, just stepping into some of the biggest pits of hell, deepest. Whatever came through in those early part of those 7 years that is like influencing and informing what you're doing now. This is a completion of the like painful aspects of the cycle, but it's now you really connect to source. No, don't do anything before you've taken a few deep breaths and some like connection, and then everything becomes clearer. What to do next and what to not do, and also to slow the fuck down, like I've been saying for years, and work with nature instead of against.
Humans definitely have 7-year cycles, and that's from like the very beginning. It's every 7 years.
So it's common. Okay, I have very clear 7-year cycles.
Yeah, they say it stops at 21. I feel it keeps going.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I think I'm starting to remember some of what I was going to share. So, like, I was talking to Stuart about what's going on with Victor, and we were talking about, resilience. And, like, Stuart gave me a lot of reassurance, and he's like, you're resourceful, and, like, you find community wherever you go, and Stuart spoke of resiliency, and that is, when people say that, I have mixed feelings about that. Yes, I am a resilient being, and I feel like I had no choice but to. And so there's some
stretched rubber band, man.
Yeah, I'm like, so there's like, yeah, you're right, and I'm also a little bitter that like I had to. There was no other option, and I feel like part of your initiation of pain and suffering, you're a resilient being, and like you had no choice.
No choice.
No.
It's a lot of times. I'm sure there were some choice points that my intuition did attempt to get my attention.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to listen as well yet, or to listen to my body. My body also,
Yeah.
Reconnecting to those aspects of myself and building fresh relationships in the same way I am with my daughter.
Yeah.
These cards are so pretty.
Thanks. They were gifted to me.
I think that's how cards are supposed to arrive, honestly. I've only purchased a couple of my own decks, and they were speaking to me, like this one is a very special one, and there's a couple I bought. All the rest have come through divine means, whether a gift or, hey, I'm just clearing out my decks, and I have a big collection.
That's awesome.
I think that, I truly believe that they speak to you. They either say, I am meant to be yours, or they arrive.
Yeah. I like the simplicity of these cards also. To me, this is one of like the clearest decks that I have. But like, it's very different than like something like this.
Ooh, that's
cool. Where there's like
a lot of messages.
And so I find it so fascinating how like minimal information on the cards gives me the most.
Yeah, because you're not restricted by your imagination of what a card means as much. You're just, this is a, hey, it's this energy.
Yeah.
this is what you're listening for. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe that's kind of this.
Yeah, so the next bundle of cards, you've got the Page of Wands, Page of Swords, the Fool, the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. This is a very beautiful dance. There are some elements, so the elements are non-compassionate beings of Middle Earth. So non-compassionate beings means they don't hold a specific purpose or charge, right?
Okay.
So like fire can keep you warm and it can also burn you. You know, water can replenish you and you can drown, you know? So this is a beautiful alchemical, it's like a merging, it's like a dance of air and fire. And it's very delicate. So you have the Page and the Knight of Wands, or the Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands. This is being very intentional. This is being very purpose oriented. You know, I think sometimes there's caution in too much doing. I think that you're meant to move into a field of doing more with less, meaning like
Yes.
the simplest way I can say this is it's like magnetizing things towards you where you don't have to work so much. So it's like a higher return with less effort.
And there's very specific dream and intention I've been setting.
Yeah, I see that with the Ace of Swords. Yeah.
It's been showing up for a while and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, magnetizing more resources and being the word is subjective to like what you're giving your life force to. Because sometimes there's like this playful, whimsical, you know, this is Page, this is like younger energy that wants to come and create. And sometimes, you know, in this field, there needs to be a little more it's like I see you hitting like a bullseye with like a bow and arrow. Precision.
Okay.
That's the
cool.
word.
Yay.
Precision.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, you're definitely moving into a new field. I see creativity coming to you, like you becoming a divine channel. Your dream state is gonna be a nice playground for you to start doing some of that stuff.
Neat.
So like, you know, daydreaming is one thing. Night dreaming is another.
Yeah.
Because your consciousness isn't in your physical body, and so you can move into these different imaginative fields through your dream state.
Cool.
Yeah.
My dream state has been largely uncommunicative for a really long time, but that doesn't really surprise me because I've been blocked in you know, a lot of those creativity ways. I have academically studied dream time in that I went through a phase a couple of years ago where I was just eating books about lucid dreaming and everything kind of in that realm. I went deep into that, and so I suspect that was preparation for a time when that becomes part of my experience or practice. But I'm excited just to start having dreams again. Honestly, there've been not a whole lot of them.
Yeah, and I want to say that when we're in the waking day space, when we're daydreaming in this reality, that's taking a part of our consciousness. It's like, think of our consciousness as like a soul battery, right? to daydream in this realm requires a certain percentage of that battery. So if you're daydreaming more in the physical world, it is not unnatural to be disconnected from the dream world, or the dream world being a darker place. The dream world also, this could just be like a message for you to like use that to rest.
Yeah.
You
Rest
know?
is still a relationship that I really would like
Yeah.
to be closer to.
Yeah, and like being, resting in the unknown.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. And so again, like this is also coming through. You can use that queen energy because this is maturity, and I think you actually can have the bandwidth to hold both the daydream and the night dreaming.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, you just gave me a lot of information that I didn't have. Especially the piece about like if you're doing most of your dreaming in the waking world, then it drains a little more. It's not quite as effortless of a practice.
In the dream world, your body is asleep.
Right, and my body has not been sleeping a lot.
Right.
It's sad.
Yeah. In the dream world, your body doesn't have to do anything but be open to receive.
Yeah.
We're here. There's so much around us that's always communicating with us.
Yeah. I wonder if though, like, part of why I have been feeling more generally restored is because I in my waking time I am listening and hearing so much more clearly, and taking direction. I'm taking direction. Be like, it's time to go get in that hot tub. It's just come hang. There's very clear messages that I'm doing a better job of listening to, and so I imagine that's part of the pathway into reconnecting with the dream world, which also had been a place of messages that are difficult to see or receive or are scary and so it makes sense why I've only just kind of academically wanted to know a lot about dreaming or thinking about it or whatever.
Yeah. And I think you have a very clear, it's like, I feel like you're seeing these markers in your field, these like markers that are like, you're here, you're here. I feel like you're aware of that.
I am.
I feel like you're moving into a new experience. There's like a willingness to do that, an enthusiasm to do that, and it also feels lighter. There's less baggage in this field, and
some of it's in storage from before my 50th birthday. I know it'll come out when it's time. It has been coming out in less of the form of fire hose, for sure. Comes more in like these, like when you're in the ocean and it's a little on the deep side, and once in a while the wave goes over your head.
Yeah.
But you're also pretty sure you're not gonna drown. It's just okay. This is what's happening, and I can go in, or I can just get my head back above water.
Yeah.
That's more of what the experience has been.
Yeah. Your buoyancy.
When the scary stuff comes up.
Yeah.
And it's not as scary when it comes up. It's more of like, yeah, man, that was hard. Yeah. Oof. As if someone's telling me their story, and I'm like, oh man, I understand.
Yeah. You have the lived experience.
Yeah, I have the lived experience, and it's not charging me in the way that it used to. And the ones that do, then I try and just be real mindful about how I engage with the ones that are really charged still.
And it's not draining you either.
Yeah, because I'm able to choose my engagement without avoidance. It's just also like, let's titrate a little bit,
Yeah.
And let my brain go offline and encourage situations where my brain can go offline, because it's overworked.
Nice job, my friend. Happy birthday. I love you.
Thank you. You too. Yeah. This is really special. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Me too. Yeah. I think where some of my doubt was coming in is I felt like I've had really fucking clear messages about how a year was going to sort of unfold.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just, I think it's just that I think so many things keep shifting that there's only so much.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much that can be all that accurate, I suppose. But I don't know. That I think the most dramatic was when I came back from Palm Springs and my time with Piper in the first few days of March 2020. I was on fucking fire, and I had like everything dialed in and lined out. Somebody had just given me a website and all of my business resources online, and it was just like I knew everything is amazing.
Yeah, the
This is
floodgates
path
have opened.
and this is the path I'm going, and I feel super badass. And so I think that's why around April, May, June, July of 2020, it was like I hit a wall, like literally ran into a brick wall at high speed because suddenly that pathway, that bridge had ended.
Yeah.
So I hit that proverbial wall at the end of the bridge without seeing it coming, and obviously I couldn't see it coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully there won't be another like shift quite like that. But little course corrections. And the boat reference was amazing. The community reference. That's almost everything I do and think about is related in some way.
And you're in a position of leadership amongst the community.
Yeah, I've reached that point.
Yeah. I don't want to like say this in a disrespectful way, but it's like stepping into eldership.
Yeah. Oh no,
right?
no.
Like,
I'm stepping into this is what crone looks like now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But there's like wisdom there. You know, I was telling someone like an elder is different than you know, somebody who just retires. Like, to me, an elder is a teacher, they're a mentor, there's a sense of integrity. Like, respect isn't owed to you because of how old you are. Like, I think of the elders in my family, and I'm like, you know, and so I really see you stepping into eldership for all of us, you know, to learn from you.
Thank you. Okay. Wow, that was amazing because I think it's almost 1:00. So
Awesome.
people will